What's up, everybody? It's your favorite lightsaber guns, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Black Series Ezra. And I'm just gonna go on record right now and say I think the lightsaber gun is dumb. Dumb. Never liked it, never cared for it, still don't. But it's what he has. He comes with a few other accessories. Let's go ahead and get started. And we'll go ahead and start with it. Silver paint, turquoise paint. The turquoise paint gets a little outside the lines, and then I think it's cast on this black plastic. I could be wrong about that. And then the blade is stuck in there. That's something they just have been doing recently where the blades are just hard to get out. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it does come out, and you know what I want. White rod through, blue translucent around. Let's continue. But he'll hold it, and you can hang it on his belt right. Sticks out a little bit though, but not the biggest deal in the world. Then he comes with the helmet, red paint, done very sharp, very clean, and the same for the black paint when they have a difference between like the flat, the matte, and the glossy. So that all works really well. And the helmet itself, so to speak, is like a glossier plastic, so it has like that natural kind of shine to it. That looks good. And it fits on him extremely well, surprisingly well. You know, I always talk about how hard it is to kind of do stuff like this, and that works seamless. Talk about the figure. So I like the head sculpt. Like, I like when they do these, like, you know, kind of realistic renditions of animated characters. Like, I think that's pretty cool. I like the approach. And the face paint looks good. It's like a digital face paint. I don't know who they use for the model or whatever, but it looks good. And then we have, like, a bluish tint to the hair. All of that kind of works for me. The head is on a double ball peg from the head into the neck. So, and then it's on a single ball peg from the neck into the chest. Like, they're getting better and better. So you get it's still not great. They still got to work that a little bit, but not much down, a little bit up, side to side, a little bit of attitude, but the engineering is seamless. Like, compare that to a Marvel Legend, you know? It's just really well done. They just got to get more range and articulation out of it. You have this floating vest piece over top, which kind of hides some of the dynamics of the shoulder and chest, so that works. And then you have it's brown, and then you have the yellow trim, and then the yellow kind of accents, and then the symbol on the back, which is pretty clean as well. Then you have the shoulders on a disc hinge. They get you up to there. It's cast in the orange, the brown and yellow is painted on. And then around. Single hinged elbow. They get you a great range. And then you get the bicep swivel there instead of a proper one. And then you have, this is cast in the orange, and then the brown and silver is painted on. And then the fingers are painted on the green plastic here. For the wrist, you have a swivel and then a hinge in out. This arm is identical, except you have the hinge up down, which is smart, clever, pretty much well done. Pretty much perfect, in all honesty. And really seamless. Look at the elbow, the way they covered like the hinge and the elbow from the back. Like, that's pretty cool for a $20 figure. All right, single ball peg from the chest into the abdomen, and we have the yellow painted on up here, and then the neck is its own piece. And there's even like a chest or like collarbone area between the neck and the torso that's also painted. Pride, a little bit of pride. I like it. So, not much down. A good bit back, honestly. Little bit of a teapot, and you get your swivel. You have this floating belt piece with the thigh holsters and straps. All one piece. The gold is painted on. The silver is painted on. The little buttons, buckles, and leather surfaces. Well, not leather surfaces, but the buttons and buckles are all painted on. And then the little communicator there is painted black and silver. You have wide jointed drop down. Well, they're not drop down, but they're wide pegged ball pegs for the hips. I'm not sure why they did that, other than kind of the narrowness of the crotch, but great range, even with the belt. I mean, it pushes the belt up to a dumb level, but it works. And little limited forward and back, but fair, I think. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee. That's really tight. Yeah, I'm not going to push that. Some of these, the plastic they use for these figures, these and the Legends, sometimes it just makes me nervous putting too much stress on it. A little bit of hot water should clear that up. Pants are all sculpted well. All the wrinkles and stuff in the pants and like the seams and such are all sculpted extremely well. The pants are ripped down here It's an orange plastic to brown. This is just orange plastic. However, if you look at it, the pant legs don't match the orange for the torso, and neither do the arms match the torso. Like the torso is different, which is a bummer. Thigh swivel. We talked about that, right? Double jointed knee. Okay, then we have the knee pad, which, how did they do that? That's brown plastic, the same brown as the leg, and they just painted the darker brown over top. Works pretty well. Over on this side, we have the white that's painted and then the red and the silver. And that kneecap is hidden well by the pad as well. So both of that works. Smart. Then we have the ankles. It's a disc hinge with the peg at the end that gets an ankle tilt down. Unfortunately, not much of an ankle tilt up, and you do find yourself wanting one. And then the rocker where it pegs in. So a decent figure, a couple complaints along the way. But interesting nonetheless. And for a quick size comparison, there he is with Chopper. Let's talk about the negatives. To me, the most glaring negative is the difference in the oranges, like the flight suit. The oranges don't match between the torso, abdomen, pelvis to the arms and legs, which is the biggest bummer. Also, you know, I had to continue to mention it, but characters that can only hold one weapon or only have one weapon to hold, it's even more important that they give us swap out hands, because it just looks silly constantly having this character holding the air. It drives me nuts. So they need to either consider the accessories they're going to give you or give you some extra hands, in my opinion. I know that's kind of beating a dead horse to death, and I get that, but I do feel like it's something worth talking about and something that they need to really, really, really consider. And also, you'll find yourself wanting more of an ankle tilt up. I know it sounds like a small thing, but in terms of just balancing the figure sometimes in different poses, you do find yourself really wanting it. Let's talk about the positives, though. The engineering is getting better and better. If you look at how they did the elbows here, if you look at how they did the neck here, it's really, really, really quite well done. The paint is fantastic, and you get tons of it throughout the figure. Just spectacular in that regard. They spared no expense with sculpted detail, yellow paints, brown paints, dark brown paints, white paints, red paints, the digital face paint application, the blue hue to the hair, the silver accents. Like, they really tried to do everything they could to bring this figure and character to life, and I think they did a decent job of it. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.